So, starting from the very start, I'll brief the event. Although Akshat has already done a very great job at explaining it things at a pace, but so the event is named Crack the Nut. It's a kind of a small pun played for November, but the main objective here is to crack a code given to you. It's much like how you do aptitude questions, like you are given something and you need to find out the next uh, term in the series, or it's a cryptic code, like you have been given codes that you need to uh, decode and find out the missing term or crack it. But here what is doing is it's a 7-day mini cryptographic challenge where a piece of a plain text is encrypted using an algorithm, and your task is to find out that plain text or the encrypted text. So how it works: each day from now onwards, you will be receiving a piece of that encrypted text. Your aim is to decrypt it and pass it to a checker, like the cipher hype. This one, there's a website called cipher-check.vercel.app where you can put in your decrypted text and it will show whether it's right or not wrong. So your main goal is to identify the uh, encrypted text. Now, this will be running for 7 days from 11th of November to the 17th, and the answer key, like how the text was encrypted, would be shared on the 18th. Now, here are a few points that you should um, notice or things you should remember. So, each day with the new cipher, you will also be given a hint which will help you guide how to decrypt the text. And for the sake of this challenge, to make it feasible, only substitution ciphers would be used, which will be based on a simple mathematical formulas, which would be helpful for cracking. So all the new ciphers will be appearing daily on Twitter from the 11th to the 17th, which will also be shared in the groups. And finally, when we are done with the week, on the 18th, the answer key would be revealed. Okay, now here it is. Check-cipher.vercel.app. You could decrypt your text and move on to here to check it whether it's working or not. Okay, let me give you a small demo. Okay, come up here. So hey, this is the website. So for per se you decoded the text for second day, you would come in here and paste in your text and click on check. If it were the correct text, then it would show your sign. But for this demo purpose, this text wasn't correct. So this shows not yet. You need to keep on trying. The entire text, the cipher which you'll receive every day during the week, is actually encrypted using the same algorithm. Might be a little different for every day, but the technique used is actually similar, so that you do not you do not have to de- uh, decrypt every text, and every text is encrypted using a different algorithm, but they are encrypted using the same algorithm. This was how to check. Now points distribution. So if you are able to crack the code on the first day, day one, then you will be given 100 points. And if you do it on the second day, you will be given 90, third awarded 80, and so on. On the day 7, you would be awarded 40 points. And if you are able to crack the codes of entire 7 days, then the entire points would be summed up all together. So if like you did day one, cracked it, so you will be awarded 100 points. Then you also cracked the day two, then you would be awarded 90 points as well. So your total scored points would be 190. So this would help make the leaderboard more competitive. Well, let me tell you that this would be easy. It won't be that difficult. Okay. And once you have completed this challenge, share it with others and post about it on Twitter. And we are GDG on campus KNIT on Twitter. Okay. Now I want to clear a few things. Like many you would be confused, like what are ciphers and what actually is being presented here. So I would like to talk about a very specific cipher called the Caesar cipher. What happens here is that you would be given a plain text. For example, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Now, this is a text that you want to encrypt so that others won't be able to read it. So you could use many ways. Caesar cipher is one of them. Here you do is you make a shift. You replace a character with another character. Simple as it is. Like you would replace A with X, B with Y, C with Z, D with A, and so on in a circular manner. Like if you run out of spaces from Z, you could circle back to A and start from there, A, B, C, and replace that. Like how it's done here. Like C is represented with Z and D is represented with A. And if this algorithm per se would be given in the event, then you would be given a text similar to this one, QEB, NRF, ZH, and your task would be to anyway identify the plain text. This one, the quick brown. Let me draw a line on it. This one, a brighter color. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. So your task would be to identify this one, and you would be given this ciphertext. The main goal of this event is to make ciphers, encryptions, and crypt security a fun event so that kind of you get aware of how actually ciphers play a key role and how the cryptography plays a key role in our daily lives. It actually does. From your phone calls to your emails to your images sent over Instagram, everything is encrypted. You know that privacy and the security is key for in today's lives. Everyone demands that their life should stay secure and private to themselves. Here comes the pivotal role of cryptography. It helps us to make things secure and let not others see what you are sending to others on nights. Okay, so this was about Caesar cipher, and this event also roams about the same thing. The main purpose is to make you aware of how things actually work in the world of cryptography. It's a very key uh, part to everything. There are many algorithms used. Modern day uses DES and AES. Okay, so the cipher was Spain's Rodri won the Ballon d'Or this year, and this was a request made by Akshat to show you all. He actually emphasized that everyone should know that Spain's Rodri won the Ballon d'Or this year. So this small piece of this segment is actually Akshat inspired. So what here is done is like a plain text is used here, like Spain Rodri won the Ballon d'Or, and you need to encrypt it using Caesar cipher. And the shift is of 3 digits. It means that if A appears, then it would be shifted to D. It would be replaced by D everywhere. Everywhere in the text where A appears, it would be replaced by D. Now, so this same algorithm also, here's a key point. Actually, algorithms used are works on a specific character set. In the event, this is actually I'm eavesdropping a hint. So in the event, there might not all the alphabets be present. So the character sets also matters. So applying this algorithm over this character set from A to Z, the characters in the Spain's Rodri won the Ballon d'Or this year are translated to this ciphertext. Now there are two key points. Yeah, I totally forgot. To cracking the ciphertext. The first one is identifying pattern. So to crack a code, you should first identify pattern. The thing is, if you run an algorithm over a piece of text, the algorithms are made in such a way that they should be pure mathematical functions. For every input, they should output the same output. If that makes sense, it's like a 101 mapping. Every time if A appears in the plain text, it would be replaced by T. So this is a guarantee for a substitution cipher that if A appears in this text, every time it would be replaced by D in the ciphertext. So the first key point to identifying the cryptic text or the algorithm is to identify the pattern on which it's based. So the first point is to identify the pattern. And the second one is the frequency analysis. I call my mouse. Frequency analysis. Like this is a very formal way of cracking the code. You could also do a hit and try method. Like you assign each values to it and each ciphertext that you the pattern that you get, you assign each alphabet to it and then reverse engineer it to get the plain text. And the the version of the plain text which makes sense the most is actual answer or the simple text, the original one. In more formal ways, you could do a frequency analysis where you would run a check on the patterns which appear the most. And this is a fact that in English language, the letter E is the most used alphabet in the language. Every words usually contain. You could see the words that I have written here contains a fair share of E. So, so the frequency of E appearing in the text is higher than any other alphabets. So we could run a simple frequency analysis algorithm and we could get the best match for the plain text. So these are the two key points on identifying how the patterns exist. Okay. And in this way, you would be able to crack that Spain's Rodri actually won the Ballon d'Or this year.